manifestation and the law of attraction, because I think, everyone needs to know about this so that it can be used effectively in your life. What is manifestation really? So the word manifestation means to create something or turn something from an idea into reality. If you go to see anything that has ever been created in the past, any invention, anything new that has come up, it has always started with an idea, with a thought. And from there, it progresses into something that is a solid, see it, feel it, touch it, hear it kind of thing, right? So we want every idea that we have, we would like to see it being turned into reality. So if we know how manifestation works, that's something that we can use and use effectively in our lives. So why do we want to manifest things? We want to live a life of our choosing. We want things to go the way we want them to go, rather than things happening and then you realizing, oh, this is not what I wanted really. And we have so many desires, we have so many things that we want should happen. And of course, we do want to feel fulfilled. We don't want to feel like, it's okay, things happen, I'm not very happy with them, but I'm going to live my life disappointed, but it's okay, I can manage. That's not what we want. We really want lives that are fulfilling, that are that are a pleasure to live with. So which is why we want to really work with manifestation and how we can do it. So the law of attraction, what is the law of attraction? It is a universal law. It is a law that is consistently applied all over the universe. It's one of the most consistent things that is there in the universe, even more consistent than the law of gravity that we know about, which is all over the world, but it may not be consistent all over the universe. There are different areas of even the world, and then different areas of the universe where the law of gravity works differently, but not the law of attraction. Law of attraction works equally everywhere. What is the law of attraction? It says that which is like unto itself is drawn. To put it simply, everything that is similar will come together. Birds of a feather flock together. That's the simplest way to say it. Everything that is similar in nature comes together. So now we'll understand energy and vibrations. What is the nature of energy? First of all, everything that you break down, anything that is matter, when you break it down to the smallest particles, atoms, and even smaller, neutrons, positrons, electrons, when you actually look at those through a microscope, you see that it is just vibrating energy. So everything in the universe is vibrating energy. There's nothing more to it than that. The form of energy may differ. The way we experience it is different. Some things you can see, some things you can hear, some things you can touch and feel, but it's all energy. We already have this knowledge innately, which is why we understand vibes. How many of you feel that, yes, I don't like the vibe of this person, or I really like this person, I vibe well with them? We all have that, don't we? Another thing about energy is that energy flows where attention goes, or I should say it the other way around. Energy goes where attention flows. So every time you give your attention to something, when you're looking at something, you're thinking about it. That's how you give attention, while thinking about something. When you think about something, you are flowing your energy towards that thing. Okay? So every time you think about something, you're giving it energy. Now, that makes us pause and think, right? It makes us think about what are we thinking about and what are we really giving energy to. So that's something that we really need to think about. Okay, so now I'll explain the process of creation. Why creation? Because as we think about things and as we um, give our attention to things, we are creating our reality. We are creating everything that we are surrounded by. So the step one in the process of creation is you ask for something. Now, how do we ask? We don't ask by actually using words saying, I want this or I want that. That's not the way we ask. We look at things, we think about things, and we decide whether we like it or not. We prefer this or not. If we don't prefer this, that means we prefer that. Okay. I don't like X, I like Y. Now, I may in the moment be just thinking, I don't like X, but I like Y is an understood. Okay. It is something that needs not be said. But that ask has happened automatically. Your preference is your ask. Step 2, it is given immediately. It is given in that very moment. The moment your preference is cleared, what you prefer is now given to you. How is it given? It is not given to you as a gift. Ye lo, ready hai, use it. No, it is not, but it is given energetically. It is vibrational in nature right now. You don't need to put in effort there. Your asking does not require effort. It being given does not require any effort from you. The step 3, now you have to allow that to come into your experience. How do you allow it to come into your experience? By knowing that it is going to come, by relaxing and knowing that it's done. Whatever you want, the moment you asked for it, it was given. So, which means it is done. Now, to experience that vibrational thing in our physical lives, we have to allow it to come to us, which is by doing what? By relaxing, by knowing that it is coming. That is the only job we really have. Relax and know that it's coming. Okay. I can see that questions are already coming up, but yes, we will just finish this and then we will move to the questions. Yeah. So by the time we actually really know what we want, the job is 99.9% done. The only 0.1% that's left is us allowing it, us relaxing and allowing it into our experience. The reason why there's a picture of a buffet here is because the world is like a buffet. There is so much variety here, and there is always preferences, and we can always pick and choose what we want. There is no stopping. There is no nobody telling us this is what you should or you shouldn't. Everything that you like is available to you. Now about allowing, because if we have to allow it in, we need to know how and what. What is it all about? What is the art of allowing? It involves our beliefs. If I believe that it is difficult to earn money, then if I have a desire for money, I'm going to find it difficult to bring it into my life. So my desire and my belief, when they're a match, then it's easy to allow things in. It's easy to then experience what I want. Tuning in. Since we spoke about energy, and since everything is energy and everything is vibrating energy, we need to find the frequency. The energy vibrates at a frequency. So we need to find the frequency of what we really want. The energy of what we really want has a frequency. And when we find the right frequency, that thing has to show up in our physical experience. Just like tuning into a radio channel. So when you put on the radio and you're tuned into 91.1 and you're getting Hindi music, but if I want to listen to Western music, I need to tune into the channel that is playing Western music. Now, if I expect to stay at 91.1 and I expect the Western music to show up there, that's not going to happen. So I need to tune into the channel that is playing Western music. In the same way, I need to tune into the channel where the things that I want are. Now, how do I tune into that? By knowing how that feels. Because we translate the vibrations of any energy as emotions. So if I know having that money is going to make me feel energized or it's going to make me feel like I've achieved something, then I need to tune into that vibration right now before I can experience the having of that money. Alignment. What is alignment? Alignment means I am looking at whatever I'm looking at with the same perspective that my higher self is looking at. What is my higher self? My higher self is the energy that I am also. I am not just the physical body that I am. I am also energy. I am also what a lot of people would call it soul. Some people would call it higher self. Some people would call it inner being. And when we are in alignment, when I look at things from the same perspective as the larger part of me, then I'm in alignment and then I'm tuned into whatever it is that I want. Emotions guide us. A lot of us have been told growing up, right, that we are too emotional and it's not worth being emotional. Don't show your emotions to people. It's not worth it. You can be, used. A lot of different things have been told to us about emotions, and none of them feel good. We really don't know how to use our emotions in a very productive way. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. Emotions play an important role in our lives. They tell us whether we are in alignment or not. How do emotions tell us whether we are in alignment or not? Um, when you're experiencing a positive emotion, it means you're in alignment. When you are in alignment with your higher self, you feel positive emotion. When you're in misalignment, you feel negative emotion. Okay. When you are in alignment, you can manifest everything that you want. When you're not aligned, when you're misaligned, you will manifest stuff still, but it will not be wanted. The manifestation is constantly happening around us. But whether it's what we want or whether it's what we don't want depends on whether we are aligned or not. Okay. The choice is always ours. Okay. And I really appreciate that I've been given this opportunity to talk today, because this is a subject that I really, really love to talk about. And I feel that everyone benefits from it. So thank you so much for giving me your attention. And I would love if you have any questions to ask.
Yes, members, please feel free. I think I saw Sanjeev's
Yeah, okay. Thank
hand.
you. Thank you, Ashna. May I call you Nita, or do I address you as Mrs. Sundararaju, or how would you
No,
like?
Nita is
Okay.
good. Nita is good.
Nita, I'd like to know, you say that we have to tune into the right frequency. You want something, you tune into the right frequency, and you have it. The moment you want something and you allow it to come to you, you've got it. 99% of it is done when you sort of know what you want. These are great words. Trust me. How do you know the correct frequency? I want wealth, for example. How do I tune into the right frequency? How do I know what is the right frequency? Just because I'm happy, or just because I feel a positive emotion? I'm told that you send out positive vibes. Ether gives you 10x of those vibes back to you. Wish well for others, you're very happy yourself. Wish wealth for others, wealth. You get a lot of wealth back yourself. How does this convert to reality? How do you get the right frequency? What is the right frequency? What stops us from becoming envious, jealous of other people's belongings, wealth, etc.? How to stay positive in spite of them being way above you? How to think well for them and get the benefits for yourself also? Please share some like that.
So what is, now you're talking about envious and jealous for somebody who's more successful than you are. What really is jealousy? The jealousy comes from the fact that you're comparing yourself with somebody else and finding yourself wanting.
Yes.
You are in a place of seeing yourself as less than something. Okay. And that's where the feeling of jealousy comes. So all that jealousy is telling you is your focus is on the lack of something rather than on the availability of something. Everything you want is available to you. It is available to everyone equally. There is no one uh, who can say that I don't have access to energy. We are energy ourselves. So we have access to the energy that everything is. Now, how we look at it is our perspective. And like I said, you need to be aligned. When your energetic self is looking at something, they're not thinking, oh, I'm not good enough and I haven't done enough, or I don't know if I can have this, what somebody else has. It's not looking at that, because energy knows that everything is available. Everything is energy. So tuning in is all that's required. So now what is tuning in really? Tuning in means that you match the frequency of your desire. How do you match the frequency of your desire is your question. By figuring out what you're feeling and what you will feel when you have whatever it is that you want. When I want wealth, how will I feel when I have that wealth? That is what I need to figure out first. How will I feel when I have that wealth? I'll feel, most of the time, it means for everybody, wealth means freedom. I have the freedom to choose whatever I want to do. I can do whatever I want. I can choose not to do stuff that I don't want. I can travel where I want. I can buy what I want. So wealth actually means freedom for all of us. Now, when I look for things around me in my current life that make me feel free, then I'm tuning into the vibration of freedom. Now, when I experience freedom even in my current life, then everything else that makes me feel free, now I've tuned into the channel, so that music can flow to me, right? So everything that makes me feel free will show up in my life. I'm not saying it'll show up overnight, but as you consistently tune into that channel, you will experience more and more of that.
I don't want to take other people's time. I know time is scarce. So therefore, to summarize what you're telling me for my question is, just start feeling that you already have it and wish well for everybody, and just
Absolutely.
start living in that state of already having what you desire. Now you
Absolutely.
remain tuned in. You remain tuned into it as long as you start feeling that you already have it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
But will freedom get you a Maserati?
It can. I mean, how do you think anybody who has a Maserati has got it? They didn't get it because they were feeling shitty about themselves.
Okay, you said one thing.
He'll be happy
Birds
with the
of a
Lamborghini. He'll be happy with the Lamborghini.
okay, ma'am, you said the birds of a feather flock together.
Right.
But what is your view on opposites attract? Yeah.
Opposites do attract. So what? Look at it this way. When we are looking at opposites, what are we looking at? We are not looking at frequency at that time. We are looking at the nature of a person. Now, if I am somebody who feels victimized all the time, I will attract people who want to victimize. Now, that way they are opposites. But their frequencies do match, which is why they're in each other's vicinity. Their frequencies are not very good feeling frequencies, low frequencies, because a victim is not somebody who is feeling very good. Neither is a person who is trying to victimize, because they need to control to feel good. Both of them are not feeling good. Both are on low frequency. So that way, both of them are similar frequencies and they attract each other. Also, they are opposites in nature and they attract each other. Both are true. Do you understand? So it's when we're talking about birds of a feather, we are talking about frequency. When we're talking about opposites attract, it's the nature of the behavior that we are talking about.
Thing like they say Stockholm syndrome. The
Yes,
total opposite, right?
yes,
Okay,
yes, absolutely.
got it.
Yes.
I think
Aditya?
Anika had the question. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi Nita, thank you so much for talking about law of attraction. I often say कि जो सोचते हो वो होता है. And so yeah, I've been kind of following law of attraction in some way or the other. My question to you is specifically about using the word energy as liberally as you're using it. So my contention over here is, see, in physical sciences, energy is objective, it is defined, it is measurable. Yeah. It is defined as, the amount of work done. E equals to mc square, potential energy equals to mgh, kinetic energy equals to half mv square, right?
Yes.
But when we speak about spirituality and then energy comes in, your definition of energy will be your definition of energy. Somebody else's definition of energy could be very conveniently that definition of energy. There is no consensus on the spiritual definition of energy. And then we use words like frequency, vibrations very, very frequently. So that's my take on the spiritual aspect of using the word energy, that too so loosely and liberally. How would you kind of respond to that?
So what is the question really? I don't understand the question.
The question is that physical sciences, energy is objective, it is defined, it is measurable. Everybody speaks about the same beast. But in spirituality, when we use the word energy, it totally depends on the person's whim or subjectivity of how they want to define it, right? So
No, not really, Aditya, because energy is what it is. I mean, the fact is that how do you measure energy even when you're talking about science?
mgh, half mv square equals to mc square. Like these are
Yes.
like well-defined definitions of how do we measure energy. Right?
Agreed. And yet, when you're talking about the vibration of energy, it is measured in hertz or whatever, right? You tune into
Joules.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So so when it is, everything is vibrating energy, and we personally are not going to go around measuring kaun sa frequency pe main abhi vibrate kar raha hu, or something like that. We are not going to check exactly what the frequency is. We are not going to. But we have a simple way to do it, which is because we just all we are saying is very generally that a higher frequency feels good and a lower frequency does not feel good. So we are not going into the scientific
But
aspect
that's
as
not
much.
correct, right, Nita?
Yes.
Like when you
Yes.
say higher frequency feels good and lower frequency doesn't feel good, lower frequency is bass. If you talk about the energy of sound, right? Bass,
Yes.
without bass, music would not stand, right? So both
Yes.
and both the frequencies have a version to play. So how does one arrive at a context that low energy is not good, high energy is good, and
No,
all of this aspect?
no. Once again, we are not saying it's not good and it's good. Okay, we are not saying that at all. We are not saying lower frequency is not good and higher frequency is good. We are just saying it doesn't feel good and it feels good. Okay, and we are never going to be in a place where we don't experience negative emotion. We are here to experience all of it. None of it is bad. When we are experiencing negative emotion, we are deciding, we are making preferences, which is important, very important. It plays a big role in deciding which direction we are going to go in. So none of that is bad. I'm not saying a low frequency is bad. I'm saying it doesn't feel good to us,
So
which
then,
means, yeah.
so then the correlation would be low frequency energy is something that would not make you feel good. So that's the
Yes.
correlation, and then you're kind of making that correlation between lower frequencies and emotions.
Yes. Yes. We are just correlating frequencies to emotions because there is no other way that we can actually go around measuring.
I have my reservations about this, but we can definitely take it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And you have a right to have reservations, and we can have a discussion.
Sure.
More discussion about this later.
Absolutely.
But yeah, but basically what we are saying here is that every emotion, which means every frequency, is important, and all of it plays a role in our life. All of it plays a very important role.